Have you ever wondered if everything you were told was a lie? What really happened on 9/11? What really happened to Hitler? Are all people in power lizard aliens here to control us? Do we constantly change dimensions? Are we even on the real Earth? Or just a Matrix-like simulation of Earth? Is there a real Earth? This is the Simulated Earth Conspiracy.
I don't know if we are in a simulation, but I think it's possible that we're in a simulation because of the technological advancements that we see in our own society with like video games and stuff like that, where we're becoming closer and closer to being able to create a simulated universe that is as real as this one, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. There's a couple reasons why it could be possible. Elon Musk said that the reason he believes 1 in a billion chance that we're in a base universe, that it's like a 1 in a billion chance that we exist in the base universe because of consoles, gaming consoles today. Like how games have progressed, PC games, console games, even mobile games, that they progress to the point that we're almost to the point where the real world and the gaming world are going to be the same. You won't be able to discern the difference between the gaming world and the real world. You're going to put on your virtual reality headset or whatever, you can go into this universe created for you to game in, and it's going to look exactly like the world you're in now. And, you know, even if our development would drop off astronomically, in 1,000 years or 10,000 years, we're going to be there anyway. And it's going to be every single household is going to have at least one of these consoles. There's going to be how many billion people on the planet at that time. So each one of those people will have billions of simulated universes on their console. And how many games, how many other simulated universes are they going to be able to play on these consoles? So it almost becomes like Elon Musk said, 1 in a billion that we actually exist in the base real universe.
Neil deGrasse Tyson says, because their computers would be so powerful, they could run a great many such simulations. Suppose that these simulated people are conscious, as they would be if the simulations were sufficiently fine-grained and if a certain quite widely accepted position in the philosophy of mind is correct. Then it could be the case that the vast majority of minds like ours do not belong to the original race, but rather to people simulated by the advanced descendants of an original race. This ties into the next interviewee, Creed, a college philosophy professor.
Yeah, it's quite difficult, if not perhaps impossible. René Descartes posed in the 1600s this idea of an evil demon, that the question he posed is, what if our senses are completely deceived by some evil demon? What could we know? And he was looking for really not the metaphysical question I think that you're going for, but an epistemological one, which is, how do we know things? And so, the most common sense answer is we know things through the use of our senses. So I can touch this and feel that it's solid, for example, or you can hear my voice and know that I'm talking. But in his mind, he was thinking, well, what if there was this evil demon that was completely deceiving us so that every bit of sensory input was wrong? How would we know anything? And he came up with what he called an a priori approach, which was essentially that there are certain store of facts that if we reason correctly, we can all get to. And so his sort of most famous conclusion is, if I am thinking, I must therefore exist, because thinking requires a thinking thing, and that we don't need any experiential input whatsoever for the thinking to occur. So he got there without sort of relying on any sensory input, but that's about as far as he could get. Create is counterfactual. He came up with this problem that we can't solve. If our senses are completely deceived, if we're plugged into the matrix, or if we're in a simulation, there's no way from the inside to disprove that. We have to somehow be able to get outside the system, which is completely deceiving our senses. In a sense, this is what Descartes tried to do, but he could only reason to the if I'm thinking, therefore I exist. Essentially, without an ability to get outside of the simulation, there's no real way to disprove that we're in a simulation.
In the end, we might all be real. Or we live in a simulated Earth and Milky Way, completely created from code. It's still tangible to us. So does that make it any less real?